What's going on here? This Pito back with another book review today. We doing I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jennette McCurdy. Crazy book, crazy read, very entertaining. A lot of stuff I didn't know, a lot of stuff we need to get into. It's Pito. Let's get it. She started the book out with her mom being in a coma, and she was saying all these things to her mom, trying to wake her up, things that she know that her mom will be happy about, like, Mom, I'm at my target weight, I'm down to 89 pounds, because she had a crazy eating disorder that we're gonna get to in this book. And she kept saying things to try to wake her mom up, kind of hopefully that she was, trying to get some attention, or this wasn't really the end of the book, end of her time, but actually it was, and nothing was working. And that's how she knew that her mom really was checking out. And I just thought it was crazy, man. Like, just starting the book off like that let me know from the rip we got something entertaining, and we got a story that's very worth being told and retold for purposes of helping people out. You feel me? So as you know, with these child stars, man, their stories be like very, very crazy and very unique and different and kind of abusive and messed up. And she was talking about how her mom had cancer, and so when she started to become of age, she started developing, chest or whatever for a young girl. And she thought she had cancer. Jennette did. So she went into her mom, and her mom was like, let me check it. Her mom was like, oh, no, you just getting boobies. Like, no big deal. But Jennette was afraid to grow and develop into a woman because she wanted to stay a child, because she knew that would make her mom happy, being a child actor and not growing up. And the younger she looked, the more roles she can get. So she was like, Mom, what can I do? Her mom was like, I got a little secret for you, but you can't tell nobody. And the secret is you got to start cutting your calories. And that's the way you can not really get big boobs and not really grow. You can stay young as you possibly want. Obviously manipulating her so she can continuously bring in the money and taking care of her family, which is fucked up, but wow. Another thing, she was talking about how her mom was washing her up like all her life until she was like, I think 16 or 17. Like, and she didn't even ever touch the knobs to turn on the water in the tub or the shower or anything. She would sit there and wait for her mom to come in, because her mom was so controlling and manipulating her so much. She just thought that that was the right thing to do and how to go it, and using religion and guilt and all this nonsense to keep her controlled. And it just was crazy how, like, her mom was just trying to control so much. And she also talked about like how her first kiss was on set at a movie, and how it was so weird and on a TV show, and like she was kissing a guy and they was giving her direction on how to do it, and she hated it so much. And I just could imagine being in a position like that where it's just so socially awkward, where everybody's watching the cameras. And that's my first real experience with a female, in her case a male. It just was crazy to even hear, and unfortunate this was her experience. So she talked about how she started trying to get away from her mom and develop on her own and get her own apartment and really start developing into a young woman. And of course that comes with dating. And she started dating this guy, and the whole story behind that is crazy by itself, and I'm gonna let y'all read it to get to that. But she was dating a guy, and they had a public date. They went to a beach, and TMZ was there and started taking pictures, and she was scared and terrified what her mom would think. So she just was so exhausted, she went to sleep that night after she found out TMZ was taking pictures. And she woke up to like 100 missed calls and text messages, like her mom going on, like, you this, you that, you this. And I don't want to use the foul language, but she just was going off on her. And she was just so upset, and she was like, look, I'm gonna take all your fans, I'm gonna get on these blog sites and let them know how horrible of a person you are. And Jennette thought it was just like a threat, like whatever. So she actually did it. Her mom actually went on the blog sites and was coming at her daughter crazy, talking crazy about it. But at the same time, my mom was like, well, we need a new refrigerator, so send money for a refrigerator. And I just thought that was crazy. Like, your mom is really, really, really trying her best to really come at you and really hurt you in many ways. And I've seen this in my life, and it's just an unfortunate example, an unfortunate situation for all parties involved. But she definitely was highlighting all of the manipulative things her mom was doing to her, how unfortunate it was. And as I previously stated, this book helped me identify some of the issues that I have in my current situation, and things that I've noticed and paid attention to over the years, and things that I never liked over the years. And it definitely brought some feelings to the forefront of how I feel about my situation or my predicament, or even my relationship with my elders and my parents and stuff like that. And there's definitely a lot of similarities, maybe not to this extent, but it's still some things that I did identify with, and I thought it was just fucked up, man. And hopefully I can be a better father, a better parental figure in my child's life so we can avoid a lot of these things. But it's just unfortunate, man. A lot of our parents don't have the help they needed to in order to raise us better. But it's our job as parents to do better to raise our children to avoid these kind of situations. So forgive me if I say this young lady name wrong, because I'm not familiar with a lot of them like that. I know who they are, but I'm not as familiar as you may be. But Ariana Grande, I believe is her name. She talked about how she hated her and how Ariana Grande could take time off, but she couldn't. Like, she would have episodes where she would have to do a scene with a box because Ariana was allegedly locked in a box on the episode, and she would have to talk to a box when she tried to get an episode off to go do a movie, and they wouldn't let her. And she just thought that was so upsetting. So even with all the accolades and all the fame and fortune and magazine covers Ariana Grande was getting, what pissed her off the most is when she spent some time with Tom Hanks. And that really sent her over the edge. Like, oh, hell no. I can take everything else, but I ain't going to take you sitting there playing with cards with Woody. Like, hell no. So she got tired of being a good sport because she always heard that throughout her entire life. Like, you're doing the right thing. You're being a good sport. You're not making it difficult for us. And it came to a point where them words almost became, they did become insulting to her because she got tired of hearing it because she always tried to do the right thing, which I can relate to as well. Because I get tired of trying to do the right thing. And sometimes I just want to buck and do what I need to do to get ahead. But, you know how that goes. So definitely interesting part of the book. Another crazy thing in this book was she turned down $300,000 of hush money from Nickelodeon. And she had a guy that she was working with, and it just came out with Keenan and all that. And I believe it's the same guy. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I am, but she called him the creator, and she was saying like he was so manipulative, he was so angry, but he would also make you feel so good. And there was so many things that he did to try to make the kids feel special and tear them down at the same time. And a lot of times when a few times he made her drink some alcohol that she didn't want, and he was touching her inappropriately and all kinds of stuff like that. But he was also putting a lot of people in position, not saying that that's good or bad, but that what was happening. And so he ended up getting in trouble. Of course, you all know the story if we talking about the same guy. And he had to be separated from the actor, so he had to direct from different parts of the studio from where the actors were actually at for his behavior. And at the end of her show, she was happy that it was ending, and they offered her $300K, and she's like, why y'all give me $300K? And she was like, well, it's just, good stuff. And he was like, wow. And they're like, well, if you take the $300K, you just can't speak on what actually happened on Nickelodeon. And she's like, no, I'm not taking that, hell no. Which, big up to you, girl, because all of this stuff need to come out. It's crazy how abusive people be when they're in a position of power. You know what I mean? I never understood and realized that eating disorders was so wide range, and there was such a variety of people that was dealing with it, fat, skinny. Like, I always thought about it from my perspective of me eating too much and being overweight. I never thought about it from somebody that was slim and had an eating disorder and was making herself puke and things of that nature, and it became such a common thing for her. Just like it become a common thing for a lot of us where we just eat for comfort or to relax or take the edge off or for a distraction, whatever it may be. And this was her sense of coping with everything she was dealing with from a kid. And it was just wild to me because I never understood the complexity and how many levels and how deep it actually go with these eating disorders. And honestly, it made me want to get help and sit down and talk to somebody about my habits and how I'm going about it, because she definitely opened my eyes to something that I did not realize how deep and complex it was. So that was another crazy part of the book without getting into too many spoilers. She also talked about how therapy, she started talking about her mom trying to get to the underlying roots of what was going on with her eating disorder. And I read this other book called The Truth. It reminded me of this, of when they start having conversations about their parents and their issues from childhood. And she was asking her, in the other book, The Truth, she was asking the guy, because he would say his mom always been there for him. He was like, was your mom always there for you, or was you always there for your mom? Because in that book, his mom developed this like boyfriend and girlfriend relationship with him was completely toxic and unhealthy, but he never realized it till he got into therapy, and he started realizing the actions of his mom later on, which was kind of identical to what she was saying, but just a little different. Her mom was using her for fame and money and stuff like that, and just manipulating her, and she became defensive for her mom too in this setting, to the point where she even left and quit the therapist. Like, I can't deal with this. And it's just unfortunate, man, how much impact our parents be having on our adulthood and not getting help and not getting it fixed and not getting corrected in the proper time, where it can end up eventually be with us for the rest of our lives. And I see it every day, to be honest with you, and it's just wildly crazy. And it also just makes me want to do better as a father. So in conclusion, with this book, it really can be beneficial and helpful for a lot of people who are dealing with eating disorders, dealing with manipulative people and not really understanding what's going on, and really shedding light on a lot of things that need to be corrected in all of our communities, black, white, everywhere, because I've heard this story from Latinos, from African Americans, from white, from everywhere now, from every angle. And our parents has to do better, and we also have to do better now that we're becoming parents. We're replacing our parents now as far as time frame and age and all that. So we have to do better and understand and get help and be able to correct these issues as well. Understanding eating disorders, understanding personality disorders, understanding the effects that we have on other people in their lives. So in conclusion, I definitely think this is a great book to read if you're definitely trying to get to a better place in your life with your parents or with your children. It helps you shed light on a lot of things. Also, chasing fame and money, the effect that can have on it as well, because a lot of these people, they will get the fame and the money, but eventually, mentally, it just takes them on a whole nother course that may not be necessarily correct or proper. So definitely a dope book, man. I want y'all to check it out. If you have read it, let me know what you in the comment section. It's Pito, and I'm your boy. Out. What's going on? This is Pito. If you into books, you into reading, you into learning, hearing things that you never heard, stories that you never heard, and learning to work on your mental health, to develop and becoming a better person, a better man, a better son, a better father, follow me, subscribe. Help me get my subscribers up. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right now I'm at like 2. But nah, in all seriousness, if you're really into the things that I'm into, follow me. I'm going to be dropping dope content all the time. It's Pito. Check me out. Follow me. Engage with me. Let me know y'all want to read some books, what y'all want to talk about. I'm here. It's Pito. Let's get it.